Um, Welcome to the first session of Texas Rising, the Fallout RPG by Modifius Entertainment. Um, as you saw, we have two players, which is probably a pretty good number for a Fallout campaign. You guys can go around as a group, pick up NPCs. One of you is even starting with a picnic ramen, which is awesome. Um, so we'll go and jump right into it. A little bit of backstory for our characters. They are starting out in Carbon, Texas. We have a ghoul named Jack, who is 240 years old as of the start of this campaign in the year 2287. We then have Slash, who is joining Jack on a new adventure. Slash is 18 years old and has been trained by his parents to be a merchant and has a few goods that he wants to try and see if he can't sell them around the world, around the wasteland, and adventure with his companion Jack. So, starting out, gentlemen, I'll let you decide how you like to begin your adventure.
Oh, Uncle Jack. How do we want to go to just another settlement, or is there something that we can pick up and trade with somebody else? What do you
Well,
think?
let's see. I think Waco's a good starting point. Ooh, well, there's this kid that disappeared. Uh, hmm. And mm,
I did spam you with some quests.
yep.
You should be able to also pull them up in the list view from the right-hand menu underneath the campaign category.
Missing kid, missing uh, adult. Um, something's been munching some of the local cattle. Merchant wants to head for Fort Worth. Has problems getting escorts, and somebody wants to head to Los. Wants escorts for that. Well,
I'm not certain if I'm ready to go find some big monster eating cattle.
yes.
I'm,
Though
I'm
we do
gonna.
have bait if we want to do that.
No, you can't take Betsy and use her as bait. I'm not gonna allow that.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
true.
maybe if we had another one that I didn't have a name for, but not Betsy. Sorry.
That's
um,
fine.
so I'm going to say a no on that. I don't feel like I want to
Well,
fight a monster.
that, and I
Or
think we kind of want to get somebody else along to deal with that problem.
let's wait off
And
on that.
um,
How far off is Loss?
So if you will direct your attention to the shared record, that is your map. Each
Oh,
county, so the map's designed by the counties of real world Texas. And for the purposes of our uh, campaign, each county is a day's travel.
so week away.
hmm. So Waco looks like a better, or at least an easier. And I don't believe in ghosts, so I don't know what their problem is. In comparison, it is only 150 caps, but maybe less caps, less trouble.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, the escort to Fort Worth is gonna be my top. What were you thinking?
Well, we could start here in town without too many problems.
Do you think that the missing persons are something that would be here in town?
Yeah.
Well, I guess so. Yeah. I'm thinking about that, but I do want to. Maggie. Yeah. Hmm. So you want to look for Maggie?
Oh, we could swing by either bar. We could swing by her parents, see where they think. Just start looking beyond to near the market.
So I'm assuming that she went missing yesterday.
There's no indication on
Right.
the
That's it.
quest board or the mission board of when she went missing.
Okay.
Beyond around dinner time.
Yeah, outside of dinner
But
time.
aside from that, nothing indicating which day.
Yeah. So she's been missing longer. I think. Versus potential henpecked husband just sleeping it off in a ditch.
Right.
Though,
All right. Well, um, can we do multiple quests, or we have to pick one?
Well, you can take
two.
as many of them as you want to off of the board.
Because we might be able to at least investigate both of these missing persons. Depends on what rabbit hole they took us down.
All right.
What do
Which
you
ones
think, Unc?
The
Go ahead.
missing persons
Yeah.
so far?
Both missing persons?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then, depending on when the merchant needs to leave to Fort Worth, that might be something. Yeah.
Kind of looks like the ones for escort will probably be up there until they find an escort.
Okay. Let's try the two missing individuals.
Okay. All right. And how would you like to start out? Which one do you want to start with, actually?
Well, kid's been missing probably longer. Um, well, we can check with her parents and then check with the wife, or check with the wife and then check with the parents, depending on who's closer at the moment.
Well, where you're at, so you're in the middle of town.
Yeah.
Basically, that you're in the market area. That's where the job board is. So you've got lots of people walking around. Um, the tavern is not too far down the street from you. And the residential area is about a block or two to the south.
Okay.
In general, how would we go about, taking care of this? Would we go to the girl's parents and talk to them, or is there like
That is an option.
I
Talk
didn't know if there
to
was like a central area where these things are handled,
I mean,
like a fixer or something like that, or these are
yeah,
individuals just putting these
yeah.
up.
I mean, what's on the job board is generally from some individual.
Okay, all right,
You'll even find postings that are from some organization, but they usually like they'll sign their name as the organization. And this one in particular, and with the one of the missing husband, it is their closest relatives that posted the job.
all
Think
right.
of it kind of as if you ever played The Witcher, the job boards in the Witcher games. It's like just a bunch of people. They need something done. They put it up on the job board.
um, let's go talk to the parents about the missing child. Does that sound good, Unc?
Yep.
All right. You make your way to parents' house and you find the mom is at home. She comes out and the very first thing she does is ask you, "Have you seen my little girl?"
That's what we were hoping to talk to you about. Uh, any place in particular you can think she might want to hang out aside from near the market?
Not really. I mean, she goes to the market. She comes back home usually always by dinner time, um, unless she was playing with some of her friends and they went somewhere that we don't know about.
Well, can you point out who her friends are, or any particular special friend?
None that we know of.
Hmm.
Lots of other kids have been gone missing too, so she's only had one or two friends the last few weeks.
Uh,
It's that rabbit hole I was talking about.
yes.
Um,
She did always
so
like to hang out at the vendor that sells the special cloth in the market. She loved trying to make her own clothes. Even if she couldn't afford it, she would always try to find something or hang out at that vendor to see if they had any scraps that she could use.
Okay.
we have a general description.
Well, aside
Quest
from the
board.
one on the quest board, yes.
Oh, I see now. She has yellow brown. Oh, yellow bow in her hair. But just get a general description of what she looks like, and such, hair
She's
color, eye color, stuff like that.
she's about to your waist in height, uh, brown, sometimes a little bit darker than that hair, and blue eyes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well.
Okay.
So.
All right. Guess we'll head back up to the market.
Go talk to the clothes merchant, see about if any of the kids have seen anything, and just decide not to say anything yet. If we can find any kids.
Okay. You make your way back over to the market. It takes you, 5 minutes or so to get back over there, and about 2 or 3 minutes to find the vendor you think is probably the one. This vendor, it's an older lady. She has lots and lots of different fabrics for sale, kind of just rolled up or on some kind of board wrapped around if it's a larger amount of fabric. Um, and when you arrive at her booth, you see that she is currently hand sewing a few pieces together. You're not sure what she's making yet. It looks like she's just starting something, but she definitely seems to be putting um, these fabric pieces to good use.
Um, Pardon, ma'am. Have you seen Maggie round?
Uh, Not in a while. It's been a few days. Always comes around and watches me sew and uh, likes to take any scraps I don't use.
Hmm. Seems she's, gone missing.
That's a terrible thing to hear. Such a
Hmm.
sweet girl.
Well, hopefully someone doesn't find her too sweet. Um, any of... Happen to see any of her friends around recently? Or, have you noted they've gone, missing as well?
Well, I can't say for sure. She's the only one that really paid any attention to me, and I'm usually got my nose in my sewing here or talking with another customer.
Uh,
Um, so while Jack is talking to her,
Hmm.
can I? Is there a way to kind of see or determine her honesty?
Sure. Um, we will do. Don't have
Speech.
Yeah, I was going to go with speech. I was looking for anything a little bit closer to the mark, but speech is going to be the one.
Yeah. So it says, uh, if we go perception and speech, to see if somebody's lying to you. So, being that this is my first time playing,
The
how would I?
when you're looking at your character sheet,
Mm-hmm.
to the right of the skill is the dice button to click, and it automatically rolls the dice for you for that skill. Um,
Do you think
Perception,
it'll use
figure out this. It'll use
charisma and
charisma to
speech,
begin with, so we'll have to actually we'll have to manually do this one.
or what I
Well,
do?
actually, all you got to do is figure out the target number for charisma instead of
Okay,
or perception
so
instead of charisma.
so perception 6, and then my speech is 3. So I'm guessing that's a total of 9.
Yes.
And then how many? I would roll 3 dice.
Yep. So you'll
Okay.
still
All right.
still hit the button beside speech. Just ignore the target number that it gives us because it'll be the wrong target
Okay. So I
number.
at least have
1.
one.
So yes, you did succeed. And as far as you can tell, she's like the most honest person you have ever met. And being that you've grown up here in Carbon, while you don't necessarily know her name or what she does because she's dealing with fabrics and that was never anything that really interested you too much as a kid.
Right.
You are very much aware that she is, now that you're approaching her, talking to her, she's pretty much a fixture that's been here your entire life.
been here since before I have?
Yes.
Nice. Alright, so...
Cool.
right? And, well, sorry to bother you, man.
Oh, it's not a
And
bother.
I was just,
Real quick, did you notice anybody talking with her, an adult or anything, or anything like that?
Uh, no. Well, adult fossil maybe some would say that talked with her, but we just talked about sewing. I showed her how to do things, lent her a few needles that um, were not quite up to the task for me anymore.
You said that was fossil, fossil, or I'm sorry.
She kind of made a joke about her own age.
Got it. Now I'm on board.
well,
Okay.
Yeah, she did.
still young.
No,
Still young.
I don't think she took any of that stuff home. I don't think the alley, and she points off to the left of her booth. Best you can figure, she's talking about some alley that's um, relatively is behind and to the left of her market stall. She would always, come from over there, and um, whenever she left, that's the direction she went. Um, Sometimes when I gave her some scraps or some needle and thread, that she'd go off there and come back from there with something that she had put together. So maybe something down there.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So I guess we'll check out the alleyway.
As we're heading that direction, of course, I'm looking to see if any kids are around.
Right now you don't really see any kids out and about. Um, and as you think about it right now that you're kind of focused on um, looking for kids, looking for Maggie in particular, you've noticed a uh, very um, pointed downshift in the number of kids that just wander around on their own in the last several weeks.
That
It's
is
something that you don't really notice until you're looking for it. Yeah.
Right.
I'll let you know, Uncle. She seemed to be honest, and not really knowing, where she
Yeah.
was or anything like that. So
Well, fixture town, you really don't want to be known as being dishonest, so.
all right, we can, I guess, head over to the alleyway and look around,
Okay.
see if they find any um, little a hole that she might crawl through, uh, or little doors or anything like that. Or
Okay. I would like for both of you to give me it's going to be a perception-based roll. Um, yeah, just perception. If you have
so
survival tagged, you can use a survival roll.
Yeah.
I don't have a tag.
Perception survival, so target number of 9. Okay. So, success.
Yep, Jack. So we won't worry about. Uh,
So really, I would just roll survival because I was 0 on board.
yeah, you
But I
could
was trying
actually.
to. Yeah, okay.
That's okay though. Jack got the
It's
roll.
yours. Okay.
Um, so Jack, you do discover down in that alleyway, you find a yellow bow caught on the edge of a broken fence.
Mm,
And there
all
is
right.
further investigation you can do.
Right. So I want to. Well, kind of want to do two things here. Check how old or how long this has been stuck, if I can, and if there are any signs of a struggle.
Okay. I'm going to make it difficulty 3 at that point. Um,
Well,
because you're,
okay.
well, yeah, I'll keep it at 2. And continue with the survival roll on
Still perception survival?
that. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, so you're not able
Success.
to discern anything at this time.
How do you spend luck to add extra dice, or is that how that works?
That's one way of doing it, yes, I do believe.
It is, however, something you need to declare before rolling. I'm not going to be like you can't roll this again. You guys can continue to try and figure this out as many rolls as you want to, but you will need to declare any luck, and action points have to be declared before rolls.
And we don't. And the caps down here that's our action points.
We
Yes.
do not presently have any action points.
Yeah. So you'll
I
start
just
getting
wanted to.
action points when you have successes over the needed successes. So if you need 1
Alright.
success and you get 2, that's an action point.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, so why don't I try looking just how long this has been sitting here? Or
So one thing you can spend your luck on after the roll is re-rolling one of the d20s.
yeah. Why don't I do just that?
Yeah, so you could re-roll that 15. Just roll a d20.
Yeah.
And we know that the target number is 10 there. Okay.
Okay.
So make sure you deduct one luck.
Yep.
So you do successfully figure out that it's been here for about 3 days. There's no direct sign of a struggle. And based on the way it was caught and the direction of the alley would indicate that she was being carried by someone above average height and was taken out of town, possibly in the direction southwest.
Uh-huh. This is starting to look like a rescue mission. Alright, so... Well,
Again, there are still other clues to be found.
yes.
If you wish to continue to pursue that, they're just individual roles.
So I guess you tell me that it's been like 3 days or so, and the trail leads that way.
Yeah, and looks like someone of above average height and all, so it was carrying her.
So would you be able to determine, like, Uncle Jack, if like this was a big person? Well, I'm guessing you're above average height, but
Well,
if it.
how big's the hole in the fence?
Well, I mean, it's a really old fence. It's not one that your town or tank put up. This is a pre-war fence, so it's basically like 3 or 4 inches worth of a chain link fence on the side of the building. And it just so happened to be like she was carried in such a way that it caught her bow. And this is not a fence that's actually going to stop anybody. Um, yeah,
Right.
Do you
So,
think you could either follow the trail and or determine like I guess basically I'm looking to see if it's like a if it's a mutant or something like that. They kind of scare me.
well, you could look yourself if you wanted, but
Yeah, I want to.
yeah,
I'm kind of concerned if it's a mutant. You're like, oh, it was a tall person, and I automatically just go, oh, it's a mutant, and stuff,
no.
and kind of like get a little scared and such. Do
so
you mind if I check for that?
you can check for that. I would also tell you that your character and well, one of you is probably would be considered above average height.
Hmm.
So yeah, you going to do a survival. It'll be a DC 3. One of the clues would tell you um, what you're probably dealing with.
So I would need to get 3 successes.
You'll need to get 3 successes. Yes.
Hmm. Yeah.
You may wish to spend luck or give a action point to the GM for a die.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that either. Is there any way we could collaborate on that, or no?
Um, yes, there are. I believe there are assisted roles. I thought there were. I could be mistaken.
I'm just going to try something real quick.
Okay.
I will use science just because, and so that way, I go, oh, I wanted to use that. So just grab it and then right click, aha, and it will add other dice. Okay. So just like the dice on the bottom, if you left click and hold, and then right click, it will add dice to that roll.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go and skip a test. Okay.
All right. So assistance. So there would have to be a description of how they're assisting. Of course, in this case, it's you're both looking at everything. Um, and so the assister rolls 1d20 and adds any successes they generate to the main action, as long as
So
they score no success.
can I ask Jack to look, and then I will assist?
Sure.
All
Because
right.
he's more likely to get 2 successes, and he might get it.
So Jack
So just
will do his normal survival. You will also have to do survival because this is a very particular um, check, what you guys are trying to do. But yours, uh, you're just
we'll
going to
just
roll
take the
1d20
first.
because your target number is going to be, or you're only allowed to roll 1d20 for the assist.
Okay. All right. And then it goes off of endurance. Okay. So I'm looking for 5 or more. 13. Okay.
So,
All right.
So,
So we only got 1 success. Okay. All right.
nope.
Okay.
All right? So
So we could tell, any information about the individual in particular. Do you think you could follow the trail? See,
that would that be a separate roll, or can I re-roll?
So there are two roles here. There's one that is to try and find the
Assist.
trail and follow it. There is a role to examine the trail to discern certain information out of the trail. Those are two different roles.
I would like to examine to determine what we're trying to track.
Okay. That is still a difficulty 3.
Okay.
can I assist or no?
You can, yes.
And I would like to buy a die by giving a action point.
So you can't actually because you don't have any, and I can't put you into negative.
No. To give you an action point. I don't have to have one to give.
Hold on. That's not how I interpreted it originally.
If I'm incorrect, then well,
Oh, I'm actually supposed to start with 2 because I have 2 players.
mm-hmm.
So no, in order to buy D20s, obtain information, reduce time, take additional minor action, take additional major action, add extra damage, you actually have to spend action points that you have. There is no give the GM action points. That's something we did that in with Destiny points in Star Wars, but that was a house rule. I'm not implementing that house
There's
rule.
a thing for generating action points for the game master.
Do you know where that's located?
It's a sidebar next to saving action points
Next to save.
on page 19.
Okay. Okay. I did not read that sidebar. Okay, then yes, you are correct.
So one more die for that. So left click and hold.
Yeah, it's just like the bottom dice. So
How many are you
left
spending?
click,
One.
1. Okay.
So
and then right click, and it'll give you an extra dice. Hey, so we have 2 successes.
Fortunately,
2 of 3.
So the only thing you could do is spend a luck to
re-roll one of
re-roll.
those.
Yeah. Could I spend one of my luck?
Oh, that was close to giving another one.
You could spend a luck, but not for his dice.
Got it.
No.
Thank you.
And unfortunately, if this was the perception survival, it isn't a success.
Now, so at this point, you guys have been at it for a little while. It is now about midday. The sun is coming in. much better now. And you think that if you concentrate really hard, you might be able to see things better now. Since, there's more light.
All right.
I've reduced the difficulty to 2 instead of 3 for that.
Uh, so, do you wish to continue assisting, or?
Of course, yes.
All right. Whew. Okay, so crit success and additional success.
All right.
Okay, so it's 3.
Um,
Of course.
3, yeah. Which means you've generated a action point for
Oh.
yourselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
And unlocked. You were doing the examination of the footprints, correct?
Yes. See what we're trying to track.
So the indications from the footprints that you can tell, you've now figured out that the footprints near the fence also backtrack into town a little bit through this alley, and you can see where the footprints were lighter at first, and then near a few feet before it gets to the fence, the footprints are heavier, indicating that's the point that she was picked up. Um, Based on the size of the footprints, um, you're looking at some kind of combat tread that either a ghoul or um, human would be wearing. Uh, Maybe um, a very, very small mutant, but you've never seen one that small.
So this is somewhere in baseline human size. Not. Okay.
Okay, good. So I get
Somewhat better.
yeah. I get very much more relaxed. Okay. Yeah. Just mutants scare me. So.
And kind of cork what's left of one of my eyebrows.
Oh, Uncle, you're not a mutant.
Non-mutated people don't live more than 100 years at most.
Hmm. Oh well. I guess I don't see you that way. I've always been around you.
Yes.
It's just the big mutant, super mutant. Those guys are scary. I've never seen one.
Yeah.
I don't think, and I've just heard stories. And
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I quite understand.
I didn't mean to
Right.
insult
Now
you.
let's see where this individual has taken her, and probably several other kids. So another roll.
I'll assist.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't get that.
What is your target number, Slash?
5.
5. Okay.
Yeah, just 6. I guess if depends on what base attribute we're using.
The
5 or
one
6.
that's primarily associated with survival.
Endurance. Okay. All right.
Endurance. Okay. So.
I'll spend a luck point.
Okay.
And re-roll just to see if I can. Come on. Oh well.
Dang it. That was close.
We're still one.
Yeah, it's not a calamity or whatever.
Complication.
Complication. Thank you.
It's close.
Yes.
So you're
Right.
still, while you are now very much aware that it's some kind of humanoid-sized person that has taken Maggie. Tracking it, making sure you're on the same footprints leading out of town is proving to be difficult.
So we know someone has taken her about 3 days ago. Well, alright. I want to do something that might be kind of dumb.
Okay, I like them.
Me too.
I want to head to the edge of town in a direct line from where we are, following what I think where I think the path may lead,
Okay,
and try to pick up the trail there.
all right. So you're going to travel southwest from this alley out of town. How far would you like to go? I need you to give me an actual estimate of how far you would like to go.
At the edge.
Just to the edge of town?
Yes.
Okay. So you pass through a few other uh, blocks, a couple of the more administrative buildings, and then a few rows of residential buildings. You do have to um, kind of make your way around a few buildings to come back to the track since they kind of block the path. Um, and then you make it to the edge of town, and this is where you'll need to make another roll to see if you can pick up the trail.
Right?
This is. Oh. You get the
One
complication,
more
but you
for
also get a
you,
success.
and... Okay.
Actually, no. I just want to take it away. And I'm not actually doing a minor action. I am going to use that complication instead of taking the action point.
Mhm.
And Jack, as you're trying to scrounge around and find the trail that you had originally found back in the alley, um, you strain your eyes to the point that you are now suffering from a headache.
Alright.
And
I
so we're
just
going
noticed that you. Go
One
ahead.
fatigue?
to, yeah, doing a one fatigue change to from rested to tired.
Right. Okay.
Hmm. Cool. I just saw where you named Betsy on here on my allies.
Yeah, the funny thing is the token I had picked out for the Brahmin was already, the image was called Betsy, and then you said Betsy in game. I was like,
Are
okay.
you are you crazy? That is awesome.
It's like,
Common name, yes.
Well, I
yeah,
mean, it's a fairly common name for a cow-like
yeah.
creature, but yeah.
All right.
That's awesome.
So, not being able to pick up the trail, have been a little bit strange now because of how hard you're trying to find this trail. And you're beginning to lose daylight. You've been at this for a little while now,
Uh-huh.
and trying to make sure that you're on the right track while having to go around buildings. Um, the difficulty for these searches has now gone back up to 3.
Okay.
And so, how would you like to proceed on this?
Would I know of like anybody who has like hunting dogs or somebody that's a tracker or anything like that?
The only ones that you really know of are in the employ of Tang, Texas Army National Guard,
Mm.
and they typically like they don't they protect you guys, they protect the settlements that are part of Tang, but they don't interact well with the civilians that have no status.
Right. Which is why this is on the job board and the, they're not taking care of it.
Mhm. I mean, officially they are looking into missing persons, but um, just the sheer number of people that have gone missing, it seems like they're not. If they are looking into it, they're not getting anything accomplished.
Mm, yes.
I pull out the stealth boy and say, "Do you think we can convince somebody on the sly from Tang to trade for this and help us out?"
Well, if they're already looking into it, then this may be kind of low on the list. You could go and report it to them that it's a kidnapping instead of just a missing person, but
Hmm.
I'm not sure how much that will help the situation. We could try that though.
Yeah, I mean, basically, just asking them if they have any personal time. It's, I don't know how easy that would be, but
You never know till you try.
true. If nothing else, definitely, let's we could, see the missing, the kidnapping part, and see if anything pans out with that, and we can try to go from there. So I'm guessing that they have some kind of barracks or headquarters in
Yep.
Carbon.
They've got, of course, around the main entrances, they have a couple of guards on patrol. Um, they've got a few, like every couple of blocks, they've got guards up on rooftops watching the outskirts. And they do have a, a barracks where this unit operates from. They got their armory, their um, command unit, and all that in there.
Um, would I have noticed, or would we have noticed if they do have any dogs or anything like
You,
that?
you believe you've heard some dogs on occasion, um, but you're not sure what they use them for.
Got it. Hmm. And that would be like more at the barracks.
Correct. You believe, based on your past experience with the Tang soldiers, um, you're better off trying to um, get an audience with one at the barracks instead of trying to speak with one that's actually on duty.
Got it. All right. Well, I guess we can go to the headquarters and see how they, you know, deal with the information of a kidnapping. Um, well, I guess this area is,
Hmm?
for uh, looking, uh, trying to find,
We could look
trying to find a
harder,
trail.
but
I mean, you can either try and roll again to search for the trail, or just like no roll, you can just go up to the the barracks and speak with the desk clerk.
Well, but
That-
did I
that's
confirm this is the trail, or am I still lost?
You're still lost. You're only assuming that the trail might be here because it started out southwest from the alley.
Okay, so I want to try and confirm that this is actually the trail we think it is, instead of if we do get somebody's assistance, we don't want to get them herring off on a wild goose chase. So difficulty.
so you want to see if there's any trail at all, basically, because it is. I don't know exactly. Um, are you saying that we found a trail, or we didn't find anything?
I'm presuming we have a trail, but we're not sure this is the trail we're looking for.
How do you want to handle that, Amanda?
Oh, I mean that's up to you guys. I know you're basically trying to figure out if you're going to um, go talk to Tang or continue to roll to find the trail. You could split. I have no problem with the
Could.
party split.
Oh hell! I mean, excuse
Yeah.
me, no.
We're in
Level
town, so
one.
that's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like you're
Let's
splitting
look
going to opposite sides of the whole Texas map.
dungeon. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Let's look real. Yeah, we can look real one more time. There we go. And then we'll see what happens after that.
Okay.
So
I don't think we don't need to waste too much more time before we try to find one of those guys.
So
yeah,
at this point, you do have a action point. The
Hmm.
difficulty is at 3, so
yeah.
you can now spend the action point if you want to. And you can right click
Yeah.
on those to tell it to spend and tell it what you want to spend it on. It'll automatically add the dice.
Oh. And I would have you do that since you have a better chance.
Right. Alright, so
Oh!
thing that doesn't become a complication.
Well, that's
Uh,
going to be a complication.
okay,
Yeah,
it is.
that-
Alright,
yep.
so
So Slash, you are now
Oh,
divided as well.
Can I spend a luck to re-roll that?
You may.
All right, thank you. That's
Back to rested.
that's. All right, if nothing else. Okay, at least it's not complication.
so
We're
Luck
going
to
through luck
re-roll?
here.
yeah, we are. And luck to re-roll the. See if I can fish for
Oh, that's 12.
success.
Okay.
If that is acceptable.
Hold on. What'd you say?
Uh, spend a luck to re-roll the. See if I can. No.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, never mind. So that's new.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll head to the Tang headquarters barracks, and yeah, we'll head there and then try
Start
to
at
find
the alley
somebody in
then.
charge. Yeah.
So So you're both heading to the barracks.
Hmm.
Well, why don't I go talk to the wife, see if
Okay.
that may have something.
Okay. And then I'll go to the barracks.
Okay. All right. We'll start with Slash. Um, you arrive at the barracks. The guard outside. Um, Well, typically you've walked past the barracks many times before, and they just stand there and really do nothing, chat amongst themselves. But he notices that you're actually coming to the barracks at this point,
Hmm.
so he straightens up a little bit, leans, uh, stops leaning on his weapon as much, kind of brings it up to a ready position. He's like, "What are you doing here, kid?"
Oh, I wanted to report a kidnapping.
Yeah, so there's lots of them. Go put it on the job board.
Well, it's about the missing children that's been in town, and we've actually, me and Uncle Jack have looked around and been able to determine that somebody actually uh, snatched the girl up.
Okay, what do you want us to do about it? We're already looking into it all.
Well, we found where they took the child, so
You know
I
where they
was
took
wondering.
the child.
Yes.
He pulls out a map. Where did they take the child? And he's
Uh,
showing you a map of uh, Carbon plus several territories around it.
oh, I mean, we found where they captured the child and took them away. But we weren't able to follow the trail any farther from there. And we were wondering if we could get some help following the trail.
Huh.
I'm
Motion.
willing to trade and or uh, purchase the time needed.
Okay. What do you got?
Kind of look around, just to see if anybody else is looking or paying attention. That's it. And
It's
then I'll pull out the stealth board.
okay. It's getting kind of late in the day. People are going in for their dinner, so there's not many people on the street now. And most of them are not even paying attention to you and this guard. And as you pull out the stealth boy, he looks at it. So what does he want me to do?
Well, I mean, I didn't know if you had any trackers or dogs or anything that could help us, with our investigation and finding the trail.
Tell you what, shift is over at 10. I'll meet you in Market
And
Square.
okay, I tell them about the alleyway uh, and such.
No, tell me that stuff later. Uh, I've done talked to you too long while I'm on my shift. Get out of here. I'll see you at the square at 10.
All right, and then I'll pocket the stealth boy.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Jack, you locate the wife of the missing husband. Excuse me while I wet my throat. Um, she's was just setting the dinner for her family. A couple of kids in there. When she comes to answer the door, and says, "Yes, can I help you?"
Yes, I'm investigating your husband's disappearance. Um, and, well, if there's any more information you have that wasn't on the job board, that would be most helpful.
I'm afraid not. It's been almost a month now, and you're the first person
Ah.
to even attempt to look into it. All I know is, he spent a lot of time at the bar after work, but always made it home. uh,
All right.
before supper, and then one night he just didn't. I haven't seen him since.
All right. Well,
He did have a pocket watch. It was a
yeah, it was on the job board, and definitely going to be looking to see about that.
that's really. I mean, otherwise he wore the same clothes we all do here. Brown
All
hair
right.
like most of us. Otherwise, and I asked around too, and nobody, all anybody could talk about is just all the other missing people. Like
Right.
they just disappear into thin air.
In my experience, that doesn't happen, but definitely, this is getting worrisome. And might I recommend that you um, keep an eye on your kids, because they seem to be disappearing rather a lot.
Oh yes, I'm not letting them out of my sight anymore since these disappearances started.
Good, because I'm also helping look into when Maggie disappeared, and looks like she got snatched. So,
Terrible.
yeah,
We'll be here if you find anything. Please do let me know.
I will. Hopefully, you don't find too many other people just disappeared like this. Or, anyways, thank you for your time, ma'am.
Thank you for looking into it.
Mm.
She closes the door softly as you can tell that she's visibly recollecting herself before she returns to her children.
Right? And so, I head towards the barracks,
Okay.
looking for Slash.
You both meet up again in about 2 or 3 minutes, not at the barracks or in the residential area, but somewhere in between, since you both kind of began to head towards where the other was. And I'm assuming Slash will catch Jack up, and Jack will catch Slash up on the different events at the different
Mm.
locations.
Certainly.
I technically wasn't here to listen, so
Indeed.
Well, so apparently he's been gone a month, and she's looked into matters, and nobody seems to know anything about him. But they're talking about how a lot of people seem to have gone missing, and I filled her in about our other investigation as far as we have it, because she does have children, and I was thinking check with the bar, see any pocket watch. Wrong thing. Uh, check with at the bar, see about and see if any of the vendors came into a pocket watch one about a month ago. Hmm.
All right. So you
yeah.
have about 3 hours still until the Tang soldier is off his shift and is going to meet you in the market. You can try and investigate a little bit further on the missing husband or the missing child, or we can just time lapse until the meeting with the soldier.
Well, I like the idea of looking for the gold watch and see if anybody's bought it, sold it.
Okay.
We
Well, actually,
can.
the market's actually closed.
Okay.
You won't.
So that
Yeah.
would be tomorrow at earliest.
Yeah.
All right.
However, the bar is open.
Yeah.
All right.
The husband. Requested.
We can look
Okay.
into the bar.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it might be better to, well, mechanically it might be better to have you look into talking to people.
Okay. Yeah, I want to get whatever. I'm gonna say a beer, but I don't know what kind of brews
Rock gut.
they might have. Rock gut. Okay,
Yep.
that's right.
If you're actually going to get one, then we're actually going to pull it up. And
Yeah, because I'll go in and order a rock gut, and then I'll start talking about. Do we have a name?
No, we do not, as of yet.
I didn't come up with a name with him for him originally.
Okay,
Andy.
Andy. All right, Andy.
Andy. Yep. Um, yeah, they got beer and they have a little bit of purified water available here. I thought sure they would actually call it rock gut, but they don't.
I know, right?
That's what it is in the video games. All right, so yeah. So you want purified water or beer?
Um, I'm not certain if Slash has had much alcohol.
He is not. There is technically no age limit in this post-apocalyptic world, but his
But I would
parents have kept him away
assume
from it till now.
I would assume that my parents are kind of helicoptery. So I'm actually like, hey, I'm on my first adventure. I'm gonna have my first beer.
All right.
So I'm gonna order a rock gut.
Yeah, we'll call it rock gut. Even
Yeah, I know, right?
yeah, we're gonna do
I
that.
think we're gonna do that. Yes.
So
If
please,
nothing else, that's what Slash is gonna call it. So
yeah. Subtract 1 cap from your caps total, and
okay,
I
so,
placed it into your inventory. You can go ahead and consume it if you wish.
yeah. Let's see, beer. Okay, all right. All right. Well, here goes nothing, and I'll,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. What?
Um,
Here goes.
subtract 5 caps, not 1.
Oh, okay. All right.
But then you get 1 back when you open the beer.
So 4. Okay. All right.
Yep.
So down to 50. Excuse me. All right. Here goes nothing, Unc. And I'll consume alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Alrighty. So what's that do for me?
So the effect is alcoholic.
Uh-oh.
Not
So
that you
like
become an alcoholic immediately, but
so I've got a taste for rut gut. Is that what it's saying, or is it just saying
not
that
quite yet?
that's just the name of the effect. It's not like a.
Oh, okay. All right. And then so I don't know. I guess that'll just affect my rolls.
It will in some way.
Okay.
I am looking for that now. Go ahead and describe what you'd like to do while you're drinking your rock gut. And actually, Jack, are you going to purchase anything?
Water.
Okay. Purified water is 20 caps.
Good Lord.
That's purified,
I'm
man.
not surprised. And when they mentioned that, I quirk an eyebrow. Nothing irradiated then?
Um, you can get dirty water for 5 caps.
I'll go with the purified.
Out of character, does it affect you any though?
Which one?
Irradiation? No.
Radiated.
No.
It does not affect ghouls.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's a lot of
now,
caps.
Yeah, that is, but
Golly. All right. Um,
so how would you like to start
Alright.
your investigation?
all right, cool. So I'll, the bartender, I'll let him know my name and tell him this is my first beer or my first pint of Rutgut and such.
Is that
And
so?
just kind of, yeah, everybody, it's my first pint, and I'll just like, just take it down and such, and put it down and slam. Go ahead.
A lot of people in the bar kind of just cheer you on and everything. They're all like, "Yeah," and they raise their various tonics in a toast to you. The bartender just kind of looks at you, sidesteps a little bit, and shakes his head as he goes back to cleaning the glasses.
Whew, that's got a kick. Wow. My name. Well, they call me Slash. What's your name, bartender?
Quigley.
Nice to meet you, Quigley. We were under the impression that a man named Andy would come here often. Hadn't been around in a while. Hadn't been around in a little while.
Been a month or so.
That's what his wife was saying. Have you seen or heard anything about that?
No, he'd come in, he'd have a couple of drinks with the guys, and then he'd head on home for dinner.
Oh, anybody in particular,
No, just that group right over there, and he points at a table of some rough-looking men. Looks like they work in the local mine.
Go ahead, Jack.
Fun.
Well, I've got some liquid courage in me, so I'm gonna stroll on over to this table of you said miners, or
Yeah, they look like they work out of the local mine.
okay. So I'll stroll over to them, and like as I'm getting 3 odd feet from them, walking up to the table, I'll say, "Hey, my name is Slash. This is my Uncle Jack. How are y'all doing tonight?"
Oh, we're doing good. Just enjoying a pint before we go home after a long day in the mine.
I heard that Andy used to drink sometimes with y'all.
Yeah, Orlando, he could drink us all under the table. Man was a nightmare.
uh, his wife said that he's been missing over the last month or so.
Yeah, sure has.
Mm. He had a gold watch, and I was gonna try to buy it off of him. Do you know if he lost it in a game of poker or anything to somebody, or sold it?
No, he wouldn't part with that watch. Ain't
Mm.
nobody gonna be able to come up with anything he'd want to trade for that. That was his most favorite thing in the world. He always called it his heirloom, handed down from generations. Not that any of us believed it.
Well, that would explain why he was always giving me a run around with that. So I'm going to look around the table and see if anybody's acting squirrely.
Nope, nobody is.
So, have you noticed anybody with his heirloom?
What, you mean someone else with a gold watch?
Yeah.
No.
Hmm.
One of the other guys speaks up. Says, that's an awful lot of odd, out of the blue questions there, youngin. You sure
Well,
that rock gut ain't got to your head?
well,
Yeah, no, not probably has, but not that bad. No, we're actually looking into the matter because of all this. And just also looking into another maybe related matter. One of the kids that went missing, and seems she's got snatched. So we're kind of wondering if somebody might have knocked him on the head and made off with some stuff. Well, along with him, of course.
Well, don't know much about all that, but of course all the disappearances are what's the word? They're all connected, Jim. They're all connected. Yeah, connected. They're all connected. So it has something to do with that big old flying, the dragonfly, giant dragonfly. Yeah. And he takes another swig of his rock gut.
giant dragonfly.
Oh, don't listen to old Jim there. He's a good miner, but he ain't very good at interpreting the world around him. It's true. I tell you, I saw it. It was flying. It went over the settlement. Yeah, that away. And he points off. You're not sure if he's actually pointing anywhere in particular, but he points off to his left as his hand comes back around and tries to find his bottle again.
And so, just general thought here. Would that happen to correspond with the general direction that the kid one got dragged off towards, or would I need to make a roll for that?
You're gonna need to make a roll on that one. The survival roll. Let me change the difficulty there. You're all set.
Right?
Yep.
So one success.
One success. You figure that if he's actually aware of where he's pointing, then he's pointing due south.
Okay.
Did the dragonfly make any noise?
Of course, it made a noise. It made a dragonfly noise. Yeah. It goes back to his drink. Mumbles to himself. Dragonfly. Yeah, of course, it makes noise. Oh, dragonfly makes noise. More noise because it's a giant dragonfly. Yeah.
and Jim, you said, how do you think they're connected?
But they all disappeared, didn't they? Connected.
Do you know if Andy was talking about anything strange or
Who's Andy?
or
One of the other guys said, I told you he doesn't know how to interpret the world around him. He can't even remember who Andy is. Good miner, terrible mind.
well, they say was it a strong back and I don't know, a soft mind makes a good miner? Something like that. I don't know. I think I got that wrong.
You saying we all soft of mind, boy?
Oh, but certain
I
people
think
seem to think so.
that Jim is a good miner.
Uh-huh. I got my eye on you.
Kid, you're gonna get a shot.
What's in this rock gut anyhow? Woo!
Do you really want to know?
Maybe not. Does it always kick like this?
Just the first time? Or the first 100 times? So, Slash, you are beginning to feel a little bit, like your stomach is starting to churn a bit. Um, one of the miners who's been, there's about three of them sitting at this table. One's been kind of quiet this whole time. He's been watching you very closely, and as you're starting to feel your stomach turn, he stands up, says, "I gotta go to the loo, guys." He walks off, grabs his beer, which Jack, you note that is odd. Why is he taking his beer to the loo? And just
Uh,
about then, Slash, you lose it all on top of their table.
Oh no.
right, so face palm with one hand and reach in my pocket with the other.
The other miner
Is that
who's been telling you to not pay any attention to Jim, he stands up. He's like, "What the?" He's like, "You ain't kidding. That was your first rock cut, boy. Go on, get away from me, man." And
oh
Jim, he's like, and you know that something went into his bottle. He just sits there and picks up his bottle and keeps on drinking. He says, "Hey, quickly, this is good rock. What'd you put in it tonight?" And you look over it quickly. He's just like, he just keeps on shaking his head and keeps on cleaning his glasses. And you feel much better now that you've expelled.
I think it's time for us to go, Jack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lead the way, Unc. And as we pass the bar, I'll give him a cap for the
Troubles. As
to help out with cleaning. Sorry about that, and I'll toss a cap on the counter.
It ain't the first time.
Hopefully it'll be the last. Ugh.
As you turn to leave, you see old Jim is actually getting up from the table and seems to be headed outside as well. Um, as you're pretty close to him already, and you both get outside about the same time. He doesn't seem to notice that you're there. And he keeps on talking still. Old Andy used to always walk me home. I got to find my own way now. I think this is where Andy took me. And he starts walking off towards one of the alleys that most people would use these alleys to get from, as a shortcut to get from the market to the residential blocks.
I look
right.
at I look at Jack and just kind of nod my head.
Yeah. Just quietly follow him. Not too terribly stealthily or much, but just kind of follow.
Okay. Would you like to actually attempt actual stealth, or do you feel confident that he is drunk enough, absent-minded enough that he won't notice?
I have
Figure he's
some
kind
stealth.
of well, he's kind of rather drunk and not really gonna try and. If he notices us, don't figure it'll be that big a deal. Just like we're heading in the same direction, kind of thing.
All right. So he goes on
Um,
yes.
Can I use my sneak to kind of like gauge. I'm not acting so much like sneaky, but just like, okay, if we walk like here, we'll be in his blind spot kind of thing.
Sure.
Okay. Need the flesh.
So you're not sure, but even while doing that, you kind of accidentally walked into a couple of barrels and cans just kind of laying on the ground. And the cans being the loudest thing, Jim's up there walking, he's got his head down, doing the drunk sway. The cans clatter together, and he goes like, it's just this way, and he took it. It's like, and he just keeps on going. I need both of you to give me a difficulty 1 perception roll, please.
And so I'm guessing that's just perception. Would that be 1 or 2 dice?
Still, it's 2 dice. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I don't. Just perception in itself is 6, so I get a 9 and a 19. And he's a BRB.
Oh, did he? I do not have the Discord chat open, so I did not see that.
Oh, okay.
I will, because he can roll survival since he has it tagged.
Mm-hmm.
But he's perception,
Okay.
so I'll go and roll his real quick.
All right.
Oh, I clicked it twice. He's good either way. I'll let y'all have the
The first roll is it yellow? That means crit.
yeah, that's crit. So I actually got 2. Yeah, it's he'll keep the first one. That gives y'all an action point since he had one
Sweet.
over. And we'll kind of wait till he gets back.
Okay.
Is that Jack
So,
making noise?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Jack, I rolled for you a perception or survival since you have that tagged, and you succeeded. I actually rolled it twice, but we're taking that first one, and you guys got an action point for it. While you
Cool.
guys are following Jim, Jack, you feel something under your boot. It's like you're used to stepping on trash and everything around here, kicking out of your way, but when the spot that you've now stepped your foot at, it's like there was nothing there. There shouldn't be anything under my boot. But you feel like an unevenness under your boot here.
Okay. So I wave Slash to just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If nothing else, make sure that Jim gets where he's headed, and start to stoop down and start poking at what should not be there.
Okay. As you do, you find the gold chain that is most likely from a pocket watch. You recognize, actually, yeah, you would know. This is a gold chain from a pre-war pocket watch.
Oh, okay. And so hold it up and no watch.
No watch, just the chain.
Right. So stuff that in my pocket and continue following if I can.
Okay. As you do, you notice that this particular alley in this direction, and based on the way you found the chain, this alley leads west. if this were to be followed all the way out, it'd be a west exit from the town.
All right.
So we're going to do a little bit of time lapse. There's nothing else to find with Jim at this time. As he continues on his staggering way, he continues to mumble on about how Andy used to walk him home. He mentions the giant dragonfly a few times, and then just occasionally he'll just blurt out, "It's all connected." Oh, all connected, yeah. Until he gets to what you assume is his residence. It looks, it is just a lean-to, or what may have been an old log shed. Um, and but inside there's a little bedroll, some blankets, and he lays down and um, almost promptly falls asleep. You're now about 2 hours from your meeting time with the tank officer.
So did you find anything? Or?
Well, looks like we found the chain to the watch, but not the watch.
Hmm.
And uh, thinking about it, it could the giant dragonfly be possibly a vertibird? Just off
Have
the
we
cuff.
seen any? Have we seen any vertebrates, or anything like that?
So, Slash, you have never seen one in your entire life. You've heard them described. Jack has even described them to you at times, but you've never seen one in person.
Okay.
Uh, Jack, um, since you are pre-war, you have seen them before the bombs fell. Um, and you've seen the remains of vertebrates here and there during your travels with Slash's parents. But you've never seen one in full operation. But you have heard that the NCR at some point in time when they kind of solidified their hold on California, that they are potentially operating some vertebrates.
Okay, so it's if somebody who is kind of absent-minded, empty-headed, more than a little drunk, happen to see or hear a vertibird, they might have think it's a giant dragonfly.
Um,
Maybe-ish. Or
that's going to be
more
an
like a mutant animal.
I am not going to give you an answer to that one or the other. That's going to be entirely up to your interpretation of. Do you think Jack would speculate that?
I'm
Or do
thinking
you have
that's
this
the
answer?
speculation I'm working through, but
Okay, I thought you were asking me a question, but no, yeah, entirely up to you how you decide to speculate that.
hmm.
Is there, are there any other uh, aircraft that he might confuse that? Basically, this is a Slash. Trying to throw some spaghetti on the wall and see if it sticks.
Well,
In his ignorance.
yeah.
In your recollection of pre-war things, Jack, you can't think of any other. I mean, like there was the vertibird, there were of course the precursor helicopters, um, but Other than that, everything else is mostly jets or bombers.
Yeah, so can't think of anything. So there's that. Alright, so and how close was the alley got the chain in to the alley that the kid that Maggie got snagged in?
Say that one more time.
The correlation, the two different alleys, how close are they in relation to each other?
They are on opposite sides of the market alley and roughly 3 or 4 blocks apart from each other.
Okay. So where we found the chain, southwest ish, where we headed to follow the trail for seeing about Maggie.
Yeah, so the Maggie Trail, the last you could see of it before kind of losing it to tracking, seemed to indicate a southwest direction, and the trail for Andy is a westward direction.
um, so before we meet up with the Tang soldier and such, I'm gonna make sure. I think in my inventory I have a lantern. Yeah, I do. So I'm gonna make sure that I have that with me.
Okay.
If I have to run back to wherever and pick it up.
For now, we'll say that you have everything on you, whether we've marked it as carried or not in your inventory, since it's the first session. In the distance, you guys hear. Oh, that didn't work.
Alright.
Quite in the distance. If you'd like to try and figure out where it came from, you can attempt survival for that.
Alright. That
And I guess I'll try to assist.
ooh.
No dice.
Oh, we
So
got
it's just
one success from Jack.
Hmm.
Jack, you know that is coming from the Super Duper Mart direction in the northern part of Carbon County.
Alright, well. So
do we
amble
know
that
what
direct
that was?
sounded like a Brahmin.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
sounded like a cow, but I'm presuming in setting Brahmin.
would I be able to concur with that? That it sounded like a Brahmin.
Well, um,
Since I have one as a ally, I shall pet
you
trade.
never really listened to one that far away.
Okay. All right.
So you
Well, let's
can't
head
say
that.
for sure.
Okay.
So start heading that direction, just yeah. Start heading north towards the corral.
Okay. North.
um.
You're going to go
Do we
towards the
want?
noise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Um.
Cool.
We'll start off at a jog. What was that?
Sure.
Yeah. Not running, but not walking. Kinda.
All right. As you get closer, you begin to hear. I don't have these sound effects, unfortunately, but you begin to hear the very distinct sound of gunfire, mixture of pipe pistols and pre-war weapons. You think you might hear a minigun in the mix.
Right? So, are we close enough that we're starting to see the flashes? Or just
Oh
hearing it?
no, no, you're still like an hour and a half's walk from Super Duper Mart. You're just now on the north side of the settlement side of things. Um,
Hmm.
so you're on the north edge of the settlement. You can see um, in the distance. You can see the area, the kind of like the town, what used to be the old downtown, where the Super Duper Mart is. So you see the edge of the little uh, industrial area, um, and that's where the noises are coming
Okay. And we've got, what, hour and a half or so, roughly, till the uh, Tang Trooper shows up?
from. You're down to about an hour now on that.
Alright.
So there's no real way for us to go there and come back in time, eh?
Not if both of us are to be there when the guy shows up. And sounds like too big a thing to split up and
Uh,
deal with, so
if we're hearing a minigun, I don't know if I really want to be sticking my head into anything like that.
well, minigun may be the defenders too,
I would
but
hope. Okay. Yeah.
It does sound like it's essentially getting closer or moving towards the edge of the industrial area, getting closer to carbon settlement.
okay, so
Is there anywhere up that we can go? Like at top of a building or something like that?
Oh, sure. I mean, you used to climb the buildings all the time around here, so you know a few spots you can get up and be on top of a roof on the edge of the town.
Yeah, I'd like to do something like that. So hopefully, if whatever is on the ground, that we're not in the danger zone, shall we say?
Okay.
yeah.
Um, I don't have anything like.
Yeah, I want to get up a little higher because that sounds like powered armor.
You begin to climb onto the building, and just as you get on top, you do see coming over the edge of the area there what looks to be like a headlamp, um, and every now and then it'll turn around facing the other way, and then you see bright flashes coming out as you hear the sound of the minigun. And as it is firing, you will hear on occasion the same screaming that you had heard before.
I don't think he's shooting that much at a cow or a Brahmin.
No.
Around as it gets closer, you do recognize that this is power armor. It's painted in a blood red color, and soon after you begin to make out the shapes of other uh, ground troops, not in power armor. They're just in combat armor, also painted in deep red. Some of them seem to be trying to carry others. Some of them are just giving covering fire. Um, and before long, the Tang guards on the watch posts on top of some other buildings on this side also begin to open fire with their long-range rifles. And just as they begin to reach the edge of town, a death claw comes out of the darkness
Hmm.
and strikes the powered armored soldier, shredding the power armor in the torso area. You believe you see more than a few chunks of the powered armored individual come out along with the armor itself as he crashes to the
Right.
ground. But at this point, the Deathclaw, seeing that he's now in a town that's more populated and there's many more guns now trained and fired on, he turns and returns to the industrial area. People begin pouring out of the carbon settlement. Someone went and raised the alarm, and the local what passes for medicals, medics and everything begin coming out to try and assist these red-colored soldiers and bring them into the town to safety beyond the outskirts of the town.
Okay.
And that is where we got to call it for tonight,
Okay.
or your
Holy,
afternoon.
holy crap, Jack! What is that? Is that a death claw?
Yeah, and as I'm saying that, I'm diving off. Well, heading off the building to help triage, and I'm getting ready to have food. So,
All right.
timing on calling it.
Yeah. So we
Perfect.
will have our next session. Session 2 will be Saturday, February 11th.
11.
Okay.
And this time we'll get started at 0800 Eastern Time. If anything changes, I'll let you guys know. And of course, if anything changes to y'all, let me know.
All right.
Good.
All right. See ya.
All right. Y'all have a good one. And
Later.
we'll talk with chat later.
Alrighty.
Right.
Thank you for running late and such for me.
Not a problem.
And everything. Thank you.
We might have to do that again next time. So.